Does size matter? I have a tiny penis too. It's below average. I looked it up. I think every guy does that in his life. You get the ruler and then you look it up and it's like, oh wow, mine's below average. What the fuck, god damn it? And to be honest, I had a massive insecurity about that. There's an inevitable time when you hang out with a girl and you met her a couple of years ago, she's your girlfriend or you just met her, and you whip it out, and before you make jokes like, yeah, I have a tiny dick, and the girl's like, oh, it must be huge. You know, in porn, it usually just plops out like foop, and for you, it's just like, oh, it's here. But I've never heard any complaints. The best compliments I've ever gotten was by multiple girls. You know what's funny? You don't even have a big dick, but it was still really good. And as a guy, you're like, is that good or bad? I don't even know how to take that. But I'm getting sidetracked. Obviously, we're here to learn more about women. See, I'm going to teach you everything. So if you're a regular guy or more advanced, it doesn't fucking matter. I've really not been a cool guy from the get-go. Now, because I've been on this journey, because I learned how to pick up chicks, how to talk to girls, I've gotten myself through reference experiences that get me confident. Well, confidence is good with women that give me a lot of experiences that make me a little blasé about a hot girl. I'm all cool. I can confidently say, after a couple of years in doing this, I am cool now. Let me show you guys a picture here. Whenever people see this picture of me, I'm sitting in my roommate's chair, in my favorite spot in front of his closet, because it had the perfect angle towards the TV, while simultaneously being close enough to the kitchen so I could get more vanilla ice cream. Look, the thing is, why I'm showing you this, I'm not like, look at this pathetic little guy. Look how I look. No, I wasn't living up to my potential. It's interesting to see how much potential can be within you. I was happy. I was really happy. I got to say that. I had my computer games. Who here likes to play video games? Hands up. I had 3 friends. I got drunk almost every night, but I was lonely. I was really fucking lonely, and I was scared, and I was fucking confused. Anybody can relate with confusion? I think the first thing that comes to your mind, if you don't have any experience, is you're fucking confused. You're like, the girl says she wants to meet me, and I call her, and I'm like, hey, you're really cool, and I'm all nice, and the girl's like, nah, I'm not interested anymore. You're like, what the hell? I don't understand that. I was in this haze of confusion, not knowing what to do, being lonely, being horny. I'm a young dude. I was 20 in this picture. I see hot girls everywhere. You probably know that. You go to the grocery store, you see the hot girl, you're like, I actually want to get the tomatoes there, but now she's there, so I just don't buy them. It's cool, I just don't. Or you see him at the metro, or a girl in your class or in job, and you're like, damn, I just don't know what to fucking do. We men are logical. We're like, just give me the plan. Just give me this A, B, C, D, F, G steps and let me do it. But that's not how it works. If it worked like that, it would be sick, but it doesn't work like that. So a lot of confusion and frustration. It was really, really bad. And I was 20 years old back then. And then I found out about the game because my brother I think he had a book in his backpack. And he's like, can you get me something out of the backpack? And I found this book. It says, oh, how to pick up girls. I'm like, piff, what a fag, put it back. And then it stuck with me, and I started Googling it, and I found material. I started reading books myself. I read 2 books, and I went out. I started going out, and I remember one of the first the very first approach that I did was on the metro. I see a hot girl, and I'm standing there, and I immediately cancel all my plans in my head, and I get out at the same time as she does, because obviously I can't talk to her in a metro, so here I am. I'm kind of like derping behind her as she's making her way through the metro stop, and I'm like, well, I can't approach her on a metro stop. So I'm walking, and she's going through the streets. I'm following her. It's not the right moment. It's not the right moment. And then at some point, she was crossing the street, and I was like, the right moment is right now. Like in the middle of the street, a big truck was coming. I was like, oh, excuse me. I think I said, you're the most amazing girl I've ever seen. Can I invite you for a drink? That was my line. And she's like, aw, and you can tell that look. It's like a baby puppy, like, aw, I have a boyfriend. And I'm like, oh, it doesn't matter. I was so grateful. I'm like, holy, I did it. I talked to a girl. Some of you are like, what the fuck? But for me, that was a real achievement. It was a real achievement. And then a couple days later, I approached a really cute girl. It was a Pap Roach concert. She was the coat check girl. I literally did what the book said, like super, very verbally. We exchanged numbers, and I actually went on a date with her. I think it took me 5 hours to kiss her. Was nervous out of my mind. I had like 15 coffees because I was sweating like crazy. And I remember kissing her on that first date, and it was like my mind was completely blown. Here I am, 20 years old. I'd kissed girls before, but never really like initiated anything, and it didn't feel real. But this time I'm like, there's this girl, and her life was doing her thing, and my life was doing my thing. But I initiated the meetup, the collision of the universe. Here I am kissing girl and a girl that I didn't even know. A girl that I didn't even know a couple days ago. It was crazy, and I got hooked, and I started going out. I started taking action. Tonight, we're going to talk a lot about taking action because you need to be fucking taking action. It's not like I have the knowledge now. No, you still got to practice that, but I'll help you out with that. And I started taking action. I got better. I got tons of girlfriends. I had sex. I had crazy wild sex. Like one night stands. I had amazing relationships with amazing women that I'm still friends with. I got my heart broken. I broke hearts and all this. The whole everything with multiple people involved and all that shit. I'm 26 now, and sometimes I'm looking back and I'm like, holy fuck. I don't know, inside I'm still the nerd. I still play book games. I still listen to metal. But I can look at these things and I can experience these things on a daily fucking basis. And I like that so much that got on board with RSD. I looked up to these guys and I'm part of them. I'm going to sit in the crowd and I'm going to listen to you. But I'm part of this, and this is amazing. This is the best thing that could ever happen to a weird, shy, tiny penis nerd. This is seriously the best thing. It's just massively fucking cool. And then I came up with something called The Natural because I felt like, okay, people want more. People always want to have everything. I'm going to sit down in the woods for 4 months, hire a professional film team, and record everything I need to know about game. Everything. And I put all the infield footage that I've ever recorded, all the hidden camera stuff, all the texts of girls I sent back and forth, all the experiences, every nuance, every how to get laid from dates, how to get laid from day game, from night game, how to talk to girls at the grocery store, all that. You put it all into this thing called The Natural. I just want to leave all this freaking legacy behind. So, yes, we're going to talk about all this tonight, but I don't have time to do this for 23 hours. The Natural is 23 hours long.